Coming up, will the Suncoast feel any effects from the first official hurricane of the 2018 storm season? Plus, a diver dies trying to rescue those boys trapped in a cave in Thailand. What could be coming next in that rescue effort? Summer in full swing across the Sunshine State. How to avoid keeping your pets in hot cars. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story, the first hurricane of the 2018 storm season. First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi is watching that, as well as another system that could impact the United States. John?
Yes, indeed, Scott. The hurricane season is heating up. We finally have two systems to watch. One kind of close to the United States, closer to the mid-Atlantic. We'll talk about that in a second. And one way far away from us, that's Beryl. By the way, if you have not prepared for hurricane season, I highly recommend you jump on our website, mysuncoast.com, go to the hurricane page and download our hurricane guide and check out our hurricane special as well. Give you tips on preparing your home for hurricanes. That said, don't put up your shutters quite yet. We have a 50-mile wide system 2,600 miles away from Sarasota. And it's got a lot of rough conditions to go through before it ever makes it past the Lesser Antilles. However, it's surprised us in a lot of ways already. First of all, it formed in waters that are unusually cool for this time of year. So we've got some cloud cover around here, but none of the cloud cover that we have currently has anything to do with our two systems. The first one, next to the mid-Atlantic coast, has a good chance of developing, about an 80% chance over 5 days. In fact, could become a tropical depression maybe by the end of today or tomorrow, certainly. The second, Beryl, our first hurricane of the 2018 season. It's right now heading toward the Lesser Antilles and will probably produce a pretty good blow there. It's a ragged system. It looked much better defined earlier on today. It had a distinct but small eye wall, and that is now kind of filtered away. It's really hard to find if it's there. It's probably right there, but it's really hard to find at this hour. It does have some explosion of convection around it, though. The Hurricane Center had to kind of use their best judgment on this one. This is far away. We don't have any airplanes flying out there. We have to use cloud patterns and all remote sensing to get an idea of what the system is doing. They've given it a kind of a generous 80-mile-an-hour wind right now, and the forecast track kind of remains unchanged, although they are strengthening the intensity somewhat to a Category 2 as it moves through the Lesser Antilles. By Tuesday, if it hasn't been destroyed moving through the Lesser Antilles into an area of hostile wind environment, it's forecast to get pretty close to Hispaniola with some very large mountain range that could possibly also destroy it. Too early to tell. But at this point, it doesn't look like it has any impact on the United States. But again, we'll watch it. Any hurricane out in the Atlantic bears watching at this time of year. Water temperatures where it has bred are amazingly cool. Only 5% of hurricanes have ever developed in any kind of water temperatures this cool previously. So that's pretty impressive. The water temperatures closer to home, much warmer, and that's why we're going to watch that system as it meanders off the mid-Atlantic coast. More on these two systems coming up in just a few. Scott?
John, thank you. We're in the thick of summer and it's hot, too hot to leave your pets in the car even for just a few minutes. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us now in the studio with what you can do to make sure you keep your pets safe. Marla?
Well, Scott, typically people leave their pets inside parked cars when windows are cracked, but animal experts say that's not enough, as temperatures inside can rise quickly and cause serious illness or even death. And it sounds like common sense, but believe it or not, many pet owners still do it. The American Veterinary Medical Association says the temperatures inside your car can rise almost 20 degrees hotter than the temperature outside in just 10 minutes. Every year, hundreds of pets die from heat exhaustion, and one Manatee County animal expert says it's important to look at possible warning signs to see if your pet has any symptoms of heat exhaustion.
Their gums will become pale, they're going to act really lethargic. You need to seek medical attention right away, get them to a vet immediately. It's very, very serious.
Remember, it can take just minutes for any pet to die in a hot car. If you see a pet left in an unattended car, call police immediately, and also keep in mind that Florida law makes it legal to break into a hot car to save a pet. Scott?
Hey, Marla, thank you so much. New developments out of Thailand where a rescue diver has died at the scene of that cave rescue. The diver was a former Thai Navy SEAL who volunteered to help the boys, but then ran out of oxygen during the mission. ABC's Elizabeth Hur explains what could happen next as more heavy rains are on the way.
Tragedy in the race to free the 12 boys and their soccer coach from a flooded cave. A retired Thai Navy SEAL and a triathlete killed while bringing air tanks to staging areas in the cave along the planned escape route. According to authorities, 38-year-old Saman Kunan rejoined the SEALs just to volunteer and help with the search. We're told his dive partner found him unconscious in the water. It happened during the 1-mile swim back to the diver's operation base from where the boys are trapped. He died from lack of oxygen. Overnight, the Thai Navy SEALs posting this promise to Saman on Facebook, writing, "Today you get some good rest. We will complete the mission for you." That mission now growing desperate and more dangerous by the hour. Divers already navigating dark and muddy waters with near zero visibility are running out of time. As seen in this new video, in areas not fully submerged, there's barely enough room for the rescuers to keep their heads above water. And now with another storm system moving in, authorities confirm waiting for the water to recede on its own is no longer an option.
So will they move them before the storm?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
With so many workers inside the cave using up the air supply, officials say the boys could also quickly run out of oxygen. And so while crews are still pumping out water, the only way out for the boys right now could be diving. A risky move, but perhaps their only option. Elizabeth Hur, ABC News, New York.
And billionaire Elon Musk says his companies are helping rescue that soccer team. He's sending engineers from Tesla and SpaceX to Thailand. They will assist the current rescue team in creating a plan to safely rescue the boys. He's also offering technology from his tunnel construction company. The Thai government said Musk's engineers will arrive tomorrow. And for the latest on this story and many more here and across the world, as well as your First Alert weather forecast, you can download our app. Find it in the App Store under WWSB or My Suncoast. ABC 7 business commentator Jeff Stern joins us on this Friday with a check of the day on Wall Street so far. It's been a shortened week on Wall Street, but how has the second half of the year begun so far?
Well, that's right. The first week of 2018, second half, definitely. So far, the Dow's up around 0.5%. NASDAQ continues to lead the way, up about 1%, and S&P right in the middle as it has been, 0.75. We know the 10-year Treasury is just staying at about 2.84% was the last time I saw. So that hasn't moved much. And oil came down a little bit, $72.50 a barrel. We'll see. We know there's a lot of news out there with the tariffs and stuff. We just encourage people not to make long-term investment decisions based on this news. Woke up this morning because of the news and the futures were down, but let's see how we're currently trading. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is trading at 24,464, up over 100 points, 0.44% in the green. NASDAQ positive as well, 7,651, up 71 points, almost a full percent, while S&P is positive as well, 2,755, up 19 points, 0.71%.
And Jeff, June's unemployment numbers in today, how do they look? What's the impact?
They look pretty well so far, and the market's positive. We saw that. So far, 213,000 for June. Pretty impressive. We know that may come back and be revised, but that was very much higher than they were expecting. We've averaged over 200,000 per month for 2018, so we'll hope continue that the rest of the year. Unemployment rate increased actually to 4%. The main reason is there's an extra 200,000 people that came back to the workforce looking for jobs, so that's the reason for that. 2.71 wage growth. We'd like to see that a lot higher, to be honest with you. That's one of the reasons why the numbers came stronger, or the markets came stronger, excuse me. And the good news is the Fed's not going to really do too much with that information. We don't think they're going to get too aggressive since that growth rate still is right around 2.7%. We want to see that above 3, and then the economy will be real strong, very healthy.
Okay.
Definitely.
Jeff, thank you so much.
Have a great weekend, Scott.
You too. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how a new medical breakthrough could make a major difference in the lives of kids born with heart defects. And then later, how police say a fireworks mortar round led to the death of a 16-year-old Tampa boy.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac. Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So our big weather story of the day is going to be shifting weather patterns that takes most of our shower and thunderstorm activity over the weekend and pushes them inland to the east coast so that we get probably 2 or 3 days, maybe longer, of some drier conditions across the area. 83 degrees the air temperature, dew point 72. We have lots of sunshine and a heat index already of 88. As we progress through the afternoon, we'll watch about a 30% chance of showers developing this afternoon. That'll be mostly in inland areas. We had a kind of cluster of showers that continued on for a long time, all part of a trough of low pressure and an old boundary from storms that exited around Venice out into Gulf waters. Those showers were pretty powerful this morning right off the coastline, but they have since sort of dissipated and left us with a few coastal showers beginning to develop now. That's the 10% chance of coastal showers that will eventually drift into about a 30% chance of inland storms. As I mentioned, we've got some cloud cover around. That's from localized storms, not from the two systems that we're watching. Beryl, of course, out here way far in the Atlantic, about 2,800 miles away. And Invest 96L. We said we'd talk about Invest 96. Let's do. It's in an environment that's probably going to help it develop into at least a tropical depression, maybe more. And the computer models continue to suggest a motion that will eventually carry it out into the Atlantic, though there's still a lot of confusion here because steering level winds are probably not all that great. It may just meander out here for 3 or 4 or 5 days before possibly strengthening and giving some rough seas to parts of the North Carolina coast. Hopefully it won't take these tracks that carry it closer to the coastline, but it's still pretty early to tell. In any event, it probably won't affect the state of Florida as it drifts off to the north and to the east. We'll continue to monitor it, of course. Beryl continues on a track that takes it toward the Lesser Antilles, possibly as a Category 1 hurricane, becoming quickly a tropical storm and eventually, I think, dissipating as it gets into the hostile wind environment that will be in the Caribbean as it moves in that direction. We'll keep an eye on that one, too. Southwest wind becomes west at about 5 knots. Pretty decent day for boating. You'll just be dodging a few showers out there. Otherwise, 30% chance of storms today. Tomorrow, about 20% as those winds start becoming more westerly, driving the storms toward the other coast. And then as we head into next week, we'll talk about a 30 to 40% chance of showers each and every day. Scott?
John, thank you. And HealthSmart, a new cutting-edge device, is giving hope to thousands of children who suffer from heart defects, just like the one that forced Jimmy Kimmel's son, Billy, to have open heart surgery at just 3 days old. But ABC's Ava Pilgrim explains how this new medical breakthrough made those procedures a thing of the past.
I have a story to tell about something that happened to our family last week.
This funny man rarely gets choked up on his nightly comedy show, Jimmy Kimmel Live. But when his baby boy was sick last May, Jimmy got emotional.
So this poor kid, this is what he looked like on Monday.
Billy was born with a heart condition called tetralogy of Fallot, and at just 3 days old had open heart surgery to repair it. 7 months later, after a second heart surgery, Jimmy brought Billy to work.
Daddy cries on TV, but Billy doesn't. It's unbelievable.
Billy will need more repair work done on his heart, but now there is a new technology that can repair the hearts of kids like Billy less invasively. 17-year-old Mac Grebe was born with the same heart defect as Billy Kimmel. Mac had 2 surgeries when he was little, so when his heart started giving him trouble 2 years ago, he says the prospect of another open heart surgery was petrifying.
I faced life and death situations. If I had to do that again, I don't know if I could.
So open heart surgery, it's a long procedure, it's a very invasive procedure. It usually requires about a week or more in the hospital recovery. So here we go.
Dr. Matthew Gillespie from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia helps kids with heart defects like Billy's avoid heart surgery by using the new Harmony valve designed especially for tiny patients, now in trials at a few U.S. hospitals. It's put in through a catheter and slid into position in the heart, all done through a small incision in the groin.
You're putting a valve in without having to go in and open up the heart and sew it in. It's all done through catheters, and it's engineered to stay in that position.
Mac's Harmony valve procedure was a success, and his hospital stay afterwards was the shortest it's ever been.
We literally left the next day,
walked out of the hospital
and he felt like $1 million. Like, and that never happens. So that was amazing.
I went home and I just chilled out like it was a regular day.
Giving hope to Jimmy and his son as well. For Good Morning America, Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, New York.
Very promising there. Thank you so much. All right, time for lunch now, so let's get out live to ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher, who today is at Spearfish Siesta Grill on Old Stickney Point Road. Judy?
Scott, this is the quintessential Siesta Key place that is such a hidden gem. Now, they just opened up in April. Truth be told, I'm a little mad at Maurice for not telling me he opened it, but my son, Eric, and his friends discovered it, and it is wonderful, featuring fresh, local Florida seafood. They have a marina here, so you can rent boats. There's so much going on here, but it's all about the fresh Florida seafood, and we will come back in a few minutes, go in the dining room and have a great chow down, and you'll see what's happening right here at Spearfish Grill on Siesta Key.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service, it's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Welcome back. Time to meet our pet of the week. John is with the founder of Dante's Den and host of Animal Outtakes, Marsha Perducci, to tell us more about Mercutio. John?
Mercutio, great looking kitty.
Isn't he though?
Yeah.
And gorgeous, gorgeous green eyes and just a lover. As you can see, he's very, very happy to be in your lap.
Yeah, lap cat.
He's a lap cat, yeah. I'm sure he'd watch the football game with you on Sundays when that comes up. But he's about a little over a year old, so he's got a long, long life ahead of him. And he's just very laid back. And this is perfect for somebody who wants a buddy who will actually go in a car with them and loves to ride, loves to play with everybody, and is just a lover.
Oh, so sweet. Any health issues that we know about? None at all?
None that we know about.
Great.
Way, way, way too young for those types of things.
Right.
Great weight, eats well, and he's just, to me, he's mesmerizing. I mean, he just is so relaxed and laid back. We might take a nap, John.
Yeah, really. Cats are like that, but then they can have bursts of energy and be such fun to watch and play with. I mean, they can play catch, retrieve. You know, I've done that with my cats, and you throw a little watered up piece of paper and they'll bring it right back to you. It's incredible.
Better than a dog
sometimes.
It's
amazing. Yeah, it's really something.
And he learned to walk on a harness, if you can kind of see that a little bit. So he's a walker, and again, great exercise for you, and certainly great exercise for him.
And how do you adopt Mercutio?
Well, he is presented today by the Cat Depot here in Sarasota, and so of course all you have to do is give Cat Depot a call at 941-366-2404 and fill out an application, and they will have an interview and check the home, and
there you go.
Maybe Mercutio will come home.
Cat. You ought to give him a call if you're looking for a cat for your home. This is a great one. I tell you what. Scott?
Marsha, John, thank you both. Let's get back out now to ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. She's on Siesta Key today at Spearfish Siesta Grill on Old Stickney Point Road. Judy?
Oh, I got to tell you, Scott, what a cool place. You are going to love it. This is fresh seafood. I'm talking local seafood. And the guy that's bringing it to us is an old friend, Maurice. It's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you too, Judy. Nice to see you here.
I'm really excited because you've started this incredible marina. On top of that, all of a sudden, Spearfish Grill appears.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Talk to us about it and your theme of sustainability here.
So basically, a few years ago, my family and the Egerbeck family decided to get into the marina business. And with my love of food and my partner's love of fishing, we kind of came together with the seafood concept here at Spearfish Grill. So here we are, a few months later, after we opened, and sitting down with you.
Which is pretty exciting. Now, we're going to get to all the food in just a few minutes, but you made a conscious decision to serve local Florida fish.
Yes, so basically we decided to stick with just Gulf fish. Nothing from up north, so it's always fresh, caught local. So when somebody says, can I get some fresh fish? You're getting it fresh and you're getting it local, period, hands down. So, and we also have our own Gulf Reef permit, which we're catching our own fish now.
Oh, it's so awesome. Now, there's a lot of things that you've done in this build-out to protect the environment, including the wall.
Correct. So basically, I wanted to offset the footprint from the marina, and we decided to use things that we already had at the marina. So I took the old dockwood and I put it on all the walls for decoration. I took all used equipment, fishing equipment for decorations, and kind of went with that whole theme. And then we took it a step further and went with palm leaf plates, which are completely biodegradable, from the plates to the straws to the silverware to Greenwise cups that are completely compostable.
And you're going to get to see what's laying on top of all these compostable plates in just a few minutes when we come back at Spearfish Grill. Can't wait to tuck in.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
I'll be right back.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Coming up, President Trump taking aim at his opponents at a rally in Montana. How one senator now is fighting back against those comments. Plus, a fireworks mortar claims the life of a Tampa teen, what police say led to the tragic incident, and why pollution may be to blame for murky waters in a lake in Manatee County.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30. President Trump held one of his rallies last night, this time mocking the Me Too movement and hyping up his Supreme Court nominee announcement. ABC's Stephanie Ramos is in Washington for what we could expect to see in a busy week coming up for the president.
Today, President Trump is at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey. He says going over potential nominees to take the vacant seat on the Supreme Court.
If you turn in Monday at 9 o'clock, I think you're going to be extremely happy with the selection.
Last night, Trump hyping up the primetime announcement to his crowd of supporters at a campaign rally in Montana, stumping for the state's Republican Senate candidate.
It's time to retire liberal Democrat Jon Tester.
The president then jumping to a number of different issues like immigration, NATO, and continuing his attacks on the media for questioning his readiness for his upcoming summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
I've been preparing for this stuff my whole life. They don't say that.
Trump then reviving this insult toward Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Let's say I'm debating Pocahontas, right?
Over her past comments about her Native American heritage.
You know those little kits they sell on television for $2? Learn your heritage.
And hitting the Me Too movement.
We will take that little kit and say, but we have to do it gently. Because we're in the Me Too generation, so we have to be very gentle.
But no mention of his former EPA chief, Scott Pruitt, the same day he resigned. Pruitt was facing at least 12 separate government investigations.
And as one cabinet member exits, a new staffer emerges. The president just hired Bill Shine. He's the former Fox News co-president who handled the network's sexual harassment scandals. Shine is now the White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Communications. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
Happening right now, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is in North Korea trying to ease growing skepticism over how seriously Kim Jong-un is about giving up his nuclear arsenal. Pompeo's goal, to turn Kim's comments after the summit into actual steps toward denuclearization. Happening in Florida, a 16-year-old boy is dead after a fireworks mortar round exploded in his hand. Tampa police calling the incident accidental and have yet to release the victim's name. This happened last night when the teen tried to deploy the mortar while holding it, injuring his left hand and chest cavity. The victim died just after midnight at Tampa General Hospital. The investigation is ongoing. A Florida highway patrolman is suspended after an internal investigation. Trooper Joshua Flo was suspended after the agency found he did not follow proper procedures during a hit-and-run traffic investigation. The situation involved former Sarasota County Assistant State Attorney Jesse Weisman. In 2016, Weisman reportedly got into 2 traffic crashes while driving home. Trooper Flo arrived on a scene. Instead of taking pictures and investigating claims of DUI, he instead drove her home. A week later, Weisman was fired from her job. No word yet on when Flo will be back on the job as a trooper. New at noon, one Manatee community is trying to give back to the family of a man who dedicated his time to them. ABC 7's Stephanie Webb joins us now from the farmhouse in Bradenton.
Thank you, Scott. Well, Nicholas Wilson was a 34-year-old father of 2. He was also an EMT at Manatee Memorial Hospital and spent time volunteering here in the community. Now, late last week, Wilson was out for a bike ride when he was struck and killed by a car. And now the community that he has spent so much time caring about wants to help his family in return.
The farmhouse here in Bradenton was one of Wilson's favorite stops. He often came with his family and became a familiar face to owner Stephen Sheardown.
Would get donuts with his family, and it was just, you know, when we got the call the other day, we got a call from one of the people that worked with him as an auxiliary paramedic, and she said, you know, this was his favorite place, wanted to know if she could buy some donuts, you know, for his funeral, and we were like, you're not buying any donuts. We're going to give you the donuts for the funeral.
But they wanted to do more for Wilson, who also volunteered as a first responder with EMS. So they're holding a fundraiser here at the store with the proceeds going to help out Wilson's family. So far, the response and donations have been overwhelming.
It's been pretty amazing. We posted yesterday on Facebook, and it was shared like 250 times. So pretty amazing. We had like 30 firefighter paramedics in this morning, which was pretty amazing.
Now the fundraiser here at Farmhouse is going on today until 5 o'clock, as well as tomorrow. They're going to be open from 7 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Stephanie, thank you so much. Rainy conditions this week causing a busy section of US 41 to flood. State transportation officials say they're working on a long-term solution. Flooding is not uncommon on US 41 and 10th Street in Sarasota, but not like what we saw the other day. FDOT says the recent issue was made worse by debris clogging the drainage system.
Anything floatable or plastic or trash is just picked up instead of washed away with the rain.
FDOT is now working on cleaning out the debris in the drainage system and checking pumps to make sure nothing was damaged. Meteorologist John Scalzi joins us now. We might get a little break here, maybe dry out a little bit, I guess.
Well,
chance to, right?
I don't think we'll see downpours like that.
Yeah.
That one was just tremendous downpour,
Sure
and I'm glad they found the problem.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. Yeah, you know, I think we may see some of those heavy kind of downpours in inland areas, and probably over on the other coast over the next couple of days. But yes, we will get a chance to dry out a little bit. Lakewood Ranch webcam shows a few clouds building on the horizon. We've had that kind of persistent throughout the day today, helping to keep the temperatures down just a little bit. I think the sea breeze may be delayed just a bit in building. The cloud cover kind of persistent because of that complex of storms that we had off of our coastline. A little area of low pressure out there helping to build those showers during the overnight, and led this morning to a special marine warning actually for some stronger storms. Again, we are monitoring two different systems, one a hurricane in the far Atlantic, another an invest close to shore. Will probably become a tropical depression before too terribly long. We'll be watching that one pretty carefully. It's got an 80% chance of developing over the next several days, so something to watch. Those showers and thunderstorms now in the process of dissipation, but beginning to build closer to coast. About a 10% chance of a coastal shower over the next hour or two, followed by a much better chance of inland showers later today, about a 30% chance of that, with a high near 90. The weekend forecast coming up in a few.
All right, John, thank you. Pollution may be to blame for the murky waters in a lake on Holmes Beach. People who live there are disgusted with what has happened to what's called Spring Lake, which is between 68th Street and 70th Street near Palm Avenue. Residents say back in 2015, 22,000 gallons of sewage from a pipe Manatee County owns spilled into that lake, killing hundreds of fish.
This used to be a beautiful area, and the fish and the birds and everything were just good to look at. Now we don't even look out our backyard because it butts our property. It's right there, and there's 20 or so houses that have to deal with the same issue.
Residents are pushing city officials to get environmental experts to take a look at the lake and figure out a solution to the problem. Just days after a violent home invasion on Holmes Beach, police are starting a new voluntary home security program. They're asking homeowners who have surveillance cameras to join a database to help fight crime in the city. Police say officers won't be able to access the video unless given permission. If you'd like to sign up, just contact Holmes Beach Police. Happening today, you can join Mote Marine Lab for the 5th annual Sarasota Lionfish Derby. This derby is an environmentally friendly event that invites scuba divers to harvest this invasive species. The public is then welcome to taste delicious lionfish dishes that are prepared by top local chefs.
Fun for the divers, they get to harvest these fish. It's beneficial for the environment because it takes some of that pressure off our native populations.
The derby will kick off today with a captain's meeting. It'll continue through Sunday at Mote Marine, and of course, the divers will be busy out in the Gulf of Mexico. Looking ahead, if you're making plans to hit the Venice Farmers Market this weekend, it will not be in its usual spot. That's due to major construction along in the downtown Venice area. The Farmers Market will open at its usual time, but will be on Park Avenue west of City Hall. It runs from 8 until noon. Coming up on the all-new ABC 7 News at 4 today, police in Lee County trying to find the person responsible for an intentional oil dumping that will cost the city more than $200,000 to clean up. And a cat at Publix in Pensacola getting the attentions of thousands online. We'll tell you why. Join us this afternoon for ABC 7 News at 4. Time now, though, to get back out to Culinary Director Judy Gallagher, who's enjoying a delicious lunch today at Spearfish Siesta Grill on Old Stickney Point Road. Judy?
Scott, we're going to go right into talking with Chef James and see what he picked for us today, because it is fresh, local, and delicious. Should we start right over here?
Yeah, we'll start right over here. So this is our fish dip. We use all our daily fresh caught fish for our mixture. Real light smoke to it, creamy texture. Serve that with some crackers and some celery. Next here we have our peel and eat shrimp. Serve those either hot or cold. We steam them to order, serve with an Old Bay butter, or we do them chilled with our cocktail, which is also made in-house. Excuse me. These are fish tacos. That's a grilled amberjack, also one of our fresh catches of the day.
I love amberjack, and it's really exciting to see it.
It's a great fish for the Gulf. I think a lot of people don't really know its prevalence here as well, because you don't see it as often.
Right.
We do that with, we have a nice little slaw mixture, a sriracha aioli, beans, corn, top that off. This is a new item that we're going to be introducing on our newer menus. This is a tropical take on a chicken sandwich. You got some grilled pineapple, a little teriyaki glaze. We do that with a pepper jack, and then these are some fresh plantain chips.
Oh, sounds great. Now this I think Sammy and I are going to arm wrestle for the tuna nachos.
we actually have seen that before. These are probably one of our biggest sellers. This is a fresh yellowfin tuna. We give a real light sear. We do that over a wonton chip. We have a citrus-based soya glaze, a wasabi aioli, and then we finish that with just a little bit of chive and avocado. It's enough to share, but most people don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to share.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the thing that establishes Florida, the grouper sandwich.
Yeah, you nailed it. We do ours a little bit different. You'll notice on the key, a lot of people, red grouper, right. Gag grouper, a lot of different, very prevalent fish that the large fisheries bring in large amounts of. We strictly use a black grouper here. So this is a little more on the higher end of the grouper scale, just below maybe like a scamp. We do this on our toasted challah bun, lettuce, tomato. We make a key lime shallot tartar sauce in-house, and then these are our Everglades seasoned Jersey cut fries.
Okay, so we did take a couple because it's Jersey, and we only have about 15 seconds left. Okay. So we have a pulled pork?
Pulled pork sandwich. We have an award-winning Texas barbecue pitmaster in the back who does all of our barbecue here. These are some blue crab claws that we serve either sauteed, chilled, or fried. This is a Mexican-style tiki corn, little garlic aioli, cotija cheese, our shrimp and grits, and then our namesake down here, that'd be our hogfish, which we do in Alamorada style.
Hogfish is so delicious. You are going to want to try this. So,
all caught by a spear.
All caught by a spear. Thankfully, you caught it. I just have to worry about the tuna nachos. We're coming back because there's always time for dessert. Chef, as always, thank you. I think you outdid yourself.
Appreciate it.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Monday at 9 on Suncoast View.
Get ready for Monday movie madness and a great way to beat the heat. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. Our movie guy Matt is back to talk about new summer releases on both the big and small screens, plus a look at some great indie movies you can catch right here on the Suncoast. Then Florida Studio Theater previews a musical comedy whodunit called Murder for Two, and Blue Mangrove Grill joins us in the kitchen.
Monday at 9 on Suncoast View.
Dear parents, it's time for a pop quiz. What's the best kind of play for kids? Play that makes us think? Or helps us pretend? Or teaches us rules? Or to be creative? Actually, every kind of play is important because different kinds of play give us different kinds of skills. Help us mix up the ways we play. Okay, class dismissed. Now go play.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
86 degrees our air temperature. 83 degrees our air temperature. Our feels like temperature is now 88 degrees. We have a dew point value coming in at 72. So a hot and steamy afternoon in store. A little bit of cloud cover has been around, and that kind of, I think, delayed the onset of our sea breeze just a little bit. We'll see the sea breeze begin to build as we head into the afternoon and temperatures climb to close to 90. 30% chance of showers, that mostly inland. And then as we head into the evening, our rain chances taper off as those showers continue to move further and further away from us. A little area of low pressure out in the Gulf waters, in combination with the boundary that was left over from yesterday's thunderstorm activity, produced some pretty appreciable thunderstorm activity out there this morning. And that's since died out, and we're left with pretty quiet conditions out there in Gulf waters. But we do have a few showers now picking up across our region, light stuff for the most part. But as we head into the next couple of hours, we'll see them begin to multiply in inland areas and gradually drift further and further away from the coastline. That's kind of a pattern we'll be getting into over the next several days. The cloud cover that's around has been kind of persistent. 2 storms, both details of which are available at mysuncoast.com and on our First Alert weather app. Invest 96L just off our coastline, and of course a hurricane, Beryl, the first of the hurricane season for us anyway. Invest 96L is interesting. That will probably meander for quite a while out here in the near Atlantic waters and then eventually drift off to the north and to the east. Most computer models suggest that. But as it strengthens out here, could produce some rough surf for parts of the mid-Atlantic coast. We have a westerly wind developing over the weekend. That's going to take most of the showers and push them toward the other coast. And so consequently, I think our rain chance is down just a little. Southwest wind becomes west at about 5 knots, and the forecast calls for a daytime high today of 90 with a 30% chance of showers. Tomorrow, about a 20% chance, as most everything is pushed inland. Sunday, about the same, I think. Warm days, maybe a coastal morning shower, but most of the afternoon showers will be far away from the coast. So it looks like a nice beach weekend. And then as we head into next work week, we'll have about a 30 to 40% chance of rain. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In consumer news, tariffs on $34 billion worth of Chinese goods are now in effect, and China is accusing the U.S. of starting the biggest trade war in history. The Trump administration's 25% tariffs affect more than 800 Chinese products, such as industrial machinery, medical devices, and auto parts. President Trump and his advisors argue the tariffs are necessary to pressure China into abandoning unfair practices, but China insists it is the injured party and says it had no choice but to strike back. China has put tariffs on U.S. goods into effect immediately. Fiat's U.S. car sales are not looking great so far this year, down 44%. Fiat has only sold a third of as many cars this year as it did in the first 6 months of 2014. In 2009, Fiat rescued Chrysler from bankruptcy, but the Italian brand never really caught fire in the U.S. Only about a dozen American dealerships sell Fiat as their only Fiat Chrysler brand. Most of Fiat's nearly 400 U.S. dealerships also sell Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Turns out gender wage gaps start earlier than you might think. In the workplace, the average woman earns 80 cents for every dollar a man makes, with women of color making even less. Now, new research suggests that that gap could start as early as grade school. The average boy earning $13.80 as a weekly allowance, girls only earning less than half of what parents gave boys. The gap may be because parents are giving the boys physically harder jobs that take longer, such as mowing the lawn or washing a car. Meantime, girls are getting chores like cleaning or babysitting. MoviePass users will pay more to see some films. For $10 a month, customers can see a movie per day, but that bargain price will not apply to all titles at all times. For example, a nighttime showing of the latest blockbuster could cost users a few extra dollars. MoviePass says they plan to tip customers off to when surge pricing will be added for a particular show. Still to come in your Suncoast News, we'll tell you about one senior citizen took to the road and more right after this.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
Do I need medical exams, things like that?
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
Hello, I'm John Merce. Rugs As Art is celebrating yet another anniversary, and I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for the many years of continuous support. All during the month of July, we're having a grand celebration. We have flooded our showroom with yellow tag specials, meaning more discounts and more savings than ever before, plus free padding. So don't miss this anniversary celebration at Rugs As Art, Sarasota's bigger and better area rug superstore.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
Well, you can leave your spearfish at home because you can pick up already caught spearfish. There's so many good ones like amberjack and so many great fish right here in the Gulf of Mexico, and that's what Spearfish Grill is all about. It's bringing you that local Gulf of Mexico seafood. Really good environmentalists. They serve, they're basically made out of palm leaves, so they serve that recyclable plates, but most importantly, they're compostable, and you can buy them as party packs. So while I enjoy a piece of orange blossom pie and key lime pie, I will wish you all a good, safe weekend. Be careful out there with the firecrackers and the thunderstorms, and think about coming out to Spearfish Grill for some fresh local seafood. I think you're going to love it.
It all looks good. Thank you so much, Judy. In entertainment news, we've got the scoop on a big movie due out next summer and two smaller films opening this weekend. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
You want to tell me why you just put me in a room with this tea and crumpets eating criminal?
You don't think that tight t-shirt's cutting up the circulation in your brain? You should get bigger size.
You guys are gonna work together.
Love to.
Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham squared off last year in The Fate of the Furious. Now their spin-off has a villain. According to multiple reports, Idris Elba has been cast as the bad guy in Hobbs and Shaw, which is set to hit theaters next July.
She was a little tough on Whitney because she knew what Whitney had. There were always a lot of secrets. When you don't resolve things and you don't deal with things, they never go away.
Troubled superstar singer Whitney Houston returns to the big screen in the documentary Whitney. Interviews with family and friends and previously unseen home video help bring new insights into Houston's tumultuous life and early death. Whitney opens in limited release this weekend.
You want to make some money here? Use your white voice. My white voice? I'm not talking about Will Smith's wife, like this young blood.
Hey, Mr. Kramer, this is Langston from Regal View.
Also opening limited this weekend, Sorry to Bother You from writer-director Boots Riley. Lakeith Stanfield stars as a black telemarketer with self-esteem issues. The satire about race and power is earning rave reviews. At last check, the rating website RottenTomatoes.com had it at 95% fresh. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Singer Chris Brown spent some time behind bars in West Palm Beach overnight. He was in town to perform a concert on his nationwide tour when he was arrested on an outstanding warrant from last year. Brown was charged with felony battery stemming from a 2017 warrant that originated in Hillsborough County. He was later released after posting bail. There's no word yet on if his concert that's scheduled for tonight at the Florida State Fairgrounds will still go on. Finally, weddings are typically blissful events, but look at what happened at this one. They were, after the ceremony, taking photos and videos, and it almost didn't happen when that massive tree branch came crashing down where they were sitting. Luckily, they spotted it right before it happened. They were able to get out of the way, and the photographer added that the bride said after the incident, quote, "Our love is going to be stronger than that tree." And then they went back and finished the video with the tree right next to them. I think that could be considered good luck. That you escaped that. They've got a great story to tell now about their wedding.
The first thing that I saw was that the groom got the heck out of there and never looked back. That's what I saw. Just saying.
Yeah, we'll see. Have a wonderful weekend ahead, everyone. And we'll see you again at 4 o'clock.
My name is Blake. I received a heart transplant when I was 2 weeks old. I play defense for the Red Hot Tornadoes. Sometimes my heart starts pounding like faster and faster as I go. I know I have someone else's heart inside me. It makes me feel happy because someone was generous enough to give me a second chance to live.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new adventure. From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in. Tune in to Animal Outtakes to find out what they have to say. Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC 7.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Download the all-new ABC 7 First Alert Weather app now.